body looked like this. In 8 years, she's changed every part of her face and body, not through some futuristic scanning device, but through surgery. For inspiration, she chose features from the world's most beautiful women, with Christy Brinkley's eyes, Elle Macpherson's nose, Julia Roberts' mouth. And if you think she looks like $1,000,000, she ought to. The transformation cost her in excess of $100,000. So why did she do it?
I changed my face and body because I thought if I did so, it would change my life, which it did. I have a whole different life now because I am perceived differently. I was prematurely aged, and I didn't have a pretty face, and I didn't have the right look. So when I changed my face and body, my life, little by little, changed accordingly.
Scientific research shows that people are attracted by proportion and symmetry. Beauty, it seems, is not in the eye of the beholder. It can be scientifically defined.
Ideally, the human face can be divided into 3 equal parts: the forehead, the midsection, and the nose to mouth area. All should be the same proportion. Anthropologists have established scientifically that the face that appeals the most has large eyes, small nose, full lips, smooth skin, a small chin, and high cheekbones.
Cindy Jackson achieved her transformation after 8 years of costly and painful surgery.
I've had 3 facelifts, silicone cheek implants, 2 chemical peels, laser resurfacing, dermabrasion, cosmetic dentistry, fat out of my butt injected into my wrinkles. I've had collagen injections. I've had semi-permanent makeup, liposuction from the waist to the knees, ultrasonic liposuction on my love handles and inner thighs. I've had silicone breast implants implanted, but I had them removed because I didn't get on with them very well. They went hard. I've had my jawbone taken apart and put back together. My chin was too long, so I had the chin bone cut, moved backwards, and bolted into place. I always forget something, but that's all I can remember at the moment.
Most of us might have second thoughts about submitting ourselves to such extensive surgery. But for Cindy Jackson, body change is all part of a natural process.
We like beauty, we're attracted to beauty. No one says, oh, look at that fabulous garbage dump. They say, look at that sunset, look at that flower, look at that pretty girl, look at that handsome man, look at that fabulous house or that beautiful garden. We love beauty. We shouldn't have to apologize for it.
Although surgical techniques may improve, the ultimate and future shape control may not lie with the surgeon, but with a radical kind of engineer. Some scientists say they could build machines tiny enough to change the way we look from the inside out. The idea is dramatic. It's the ultimate in medical engineering. It's called nanotechnology, and Ralph Merkel holds the key.
Nanotechnology will let us arrange and rearrange the atoms and molecules pretty much any way we want.
Merkel's goal is to create machines which can manipulate one of the tiniest building blocks in the universe, the atom.
If you rearrange the atoms in coal, you get diamond. If you rearrange the atoms in dirt, water, and air, you get potatoes. So, how these atoms are arranged is crucial to the properties both of the products around us and to our tissue, which is also made of atoms and molecules.
And by controlling the atoms which make up our bodies, scientists like Merkel could help us build muscle or lose wrinkles with no surgery involved. The idea of microscopic intervention in the human body goes back to the sci-fi classic Fantastic Voyage. In the film, a team of armed scientists, equipped with a full range of surgical instruments and a special craft, are shrunk to microscopic size and injected into the body of a dangerously ill VIP. The plan to treat a blood clot from inside the VIP's brain. In reality, a fantastic voyage couldn't happen. Scientists don't plan to shrink people in submarines. But engineers have managed to build what they call micro-machines, cogs, gears, and levers so small that you need a microscope to see their moving parts. Currently experimental, these may one day feature in wristwatch computers or in medical tools used for microsurgery. But the nanomachines which Ralph visualizes are 1,000 times smaller.
Today, we don't know exactly what a molecular machine looks like. We have to think about that and figure out what it is we're trying to accomplish.
Although they may look like machines, nanomachines wouldn't be built out of metal or plastic. We'd fabricate them from natural, organic materials. You could take them in tablet form or in a special kind of live yogurt. The nanomachines would be so small, they could land on a cell like a spacecraft landing on the moon. Once there, the nanomachine would repair aging and damaged cells, a molecular mechanic hunting down disease and keeping you in top condition. So when could we see these machines for real? Ralph Merkel believes that nanotechnology is being driven by the trend to miniaturize computers.
What?
If you look at advances in computer hardware, we see that they've been remarkably steady for the last 50 years. If we extrapolate those trends into the future, we'll have to develop some sort of molecular manufacturing in the 2010 to 2020 timeframe. And then, of course, it will take some years after that to develop medical applications that could be applied to heal our tissues.
Of course, nanotechnology could have all kinds of cosmetic uses. If you wanted to lose weight, or build those muscles, or lose those wrinkles, the nanomachines could do it for you. How? By eating up fatty tissue, or making new muscle proteins, or replacing worn-out skin cells. In the future, the beautiful people could stay beautiful with no effort at all. It sounds great. A future where we could change our shape as easily as changing our clothes. But there's a catch. What if the shape-changing technology fell into the wrong hands? Back at the whole body scanner, Hollywood special effects designer Paul Lind speculates on a sci-fi style nightmare.
The unit can generate such accurate data so quickly, you could digitize a person and then be able to simulate replicate that person without their knowledge. Then you could have that person do all types of dastardly deeds, whether the person was going there robbing a bank or creating some type of mayhem.
Today, such abuse of body scanning could only be achieved with the aid of a highly skilled plastic surgeon, using the scanning data as a template for its work. But in the future, who knows?
I think whenever technologies like this are developed, there are lots of positive uses, there are lots of negative uses. It just depends on who has their hands in it.
Cosmetic surgery consultant Cindy Jackson has few such doubts. Controlling the shape and form of our bodies will change our lives for the better, making us more confident and more successful. And she should know. She's acquired super looks already.
The age of designer people is already here. I looked in the mirror and changed my face and body to my preferred image. Others are doing that now. I have clones, people who want to look like me. There are women who write to me saying, I want to look like a certain movie star, and they make it possible. So we already can change our faces and bodies to what we want if we don't let nature dictate anymore.
Future science may allow us to change our body shape at will, but there's no point in having super looks if we continue to grow old and to die. Now, science offers a solution to aging through the alteration of the basic building block of the human body, the cell. It's called genetic engineering.
It's clear that in people, there are skin changes, there's wrinkling, there's graying of hair, there's hair loss. As far as I know, none of that causes us to get old. It simply happens as a consequence of getting old. And I think that the breakthroughs will come in identifying the underlying causes. These cells should be old, you know.
In common with many biologists, Professor Lenny Durante believes that the reason we get old lies within our cells. Experiments have shown that our cells can only reproduce a limited number of times. It's as if there were a clock inside us, which is gradually unwinding until it stops. Many scientists now think the key to rewinding the clock must be in our DNA, the genetic code inside our cells, which describe how we're put together.
What's happening now is exciting because it can begin to get at causes of aging.
A biotechnology company in Northern California thinks it's found the key to rewinding the gene clock. Its director is Mike West.
We used to think that we age largely the way any mechanical device would age, by rust and by wear and tear. Today, it's molecular gerontology is shifting largely to an understanding of the genetics of aging and how molecular DNA controls all of life itself is behind the whole aging process.
Jared and staff have focused on a part of the DNA called the telomere, the strands right at the end of the DNA spiral. As the flame of youth burns bright and begins to fade, so the cells of the human body divide and renew again and again. And every time they renew, a little part of the telomere gets used up. When the telomere strand is exhausted, the cell finally dies. Telomere is the fuse of life.
It's a timing device similar to a fuse. It's a timing device that progressively shortens and then sets off active events, in this case, which actively destroys the body.
Once we understand what's happening in these cells that's causing them to age, then eventually it will be possible, I would predict, to build an intervention, like a pill, for example, that would slow the aging process in those cells, so that, for example, maybe our skin would stay young looking.
A pill to keep us looking young sounds incredible, but perpetual youth would be no good without perpetual health. And once again, genetic engineering offers a route to a longer, healthier life, which sounds straight out of science fiction. This is Boston Children's Hospital. Here, surgeons are beginning to use genetic science in their battle against cancer, but the outcome of their work could have far greater implications for us all. Surgeon Jay County has seen too many people die because of a chronic lack of organs and tissue, which could repair the damage caused by cancer. The county has spent years looking for a solution.
All of this here is tumor. And so if we were trying for a surgical cure, then we might do a big operation to remove not only the tumor, but all the involved lymph nodes, possibly muscle, and in some kinds of cases even jawbone possibly, and other bones. And then the question becomes, how do you reconstruct someone and actually give them that normal function?
The County and his team have come up with an answer, and what's happening in this lab could one day help all of us stay healthy virtually forever. They've developed a way of growing new body parts to order from scratch.
I see a new era occurring where we can actually take the information we've learned about how living systems operate, adapt them to individual needs to take care of individual patients, and do a much better job at providing a quality of life and extending life that would not have been imagined 100 years ago.
So how's it done? Here, a few cells from a human liver are dropped onto a cube of special plastic designed to mimic the liver's complex structure in a kind of scaffold. The liver cells are fed with a kind of nutrient. Over time, the cells begin to group themselves around the scaffold into units of tissue. At microscopic level, you can actually see the liver cells begin to take shape. The implications are awesome. As our bodies grow old, we could simply swap worn-out parts for freshly grown replacements.
So if there is a particular body part that has aged, and because of aging it doesn't work right, then we can well imagine that we could remove that poorly functioning part and replace it with a better part and have the patient benefit in a global way, including the extension of life.
In the laboratory, Bacanti's team has already grown many different parts of animals.
We've made new ears, we've made new parts for the nose. There's now dental research going on in Michigan. We've made new air passageways for the lungs. We've made ribs. We have made heart valve parts and blood vessels. We've looked at the intestine. We've tried to make and continue to work on the liver. We've made urologic parts, and so on and so forth.
But in the corner of the lab, a remarkable sight, the bones of a human finger, grown by Bacanti's team from scratch. All it needs is muscle and flesh to make it complete. If we could grow new body parts to order like this, then one day perpetual youth might just be within our grasp. It's perhaps the ultimate science fiction fantasy. Some would say nightmare. Man bonds with machine, not just in body, but in mind. Film Giant Mark portrays a future world where data smuggling is big